দূরে সে পাশে বসে, পায়ে পায়ে কখনো চলে যায় দূর। এ জীবন উদযাপনের সুর, রেডিও রেডিও যাদবপুর। এগিয়ে চলার সুর, রেডিও রেডিও যাদবপুর। 90.8 মেগাহার্টজ কমিউনিটি রেডিও, যাদবপুর ইউনিভার্সিটি।
24শে ডিসেম্বর যাদবপুর বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়ের ফাউন্ডেশন ডে বা প্রতিষ্ঠা দিবস। ওই বিশেষ দিনে এই বছর 65তম সমাবর্তন অনুষ্ঠানের উদযাপন করা হয়। এখন শুনবেন অনুষ্ঠানে উপস্থিত যাদবপুর বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়ের ভাইস চ্যান্সেলর প্রফেসর সুরঞ্জন দাস, গেস্ট ইন চিফ প্রফেসর বিমল কুমার রয় এবং অনারেবল চ্যান্সেলর ও গভর্নর অফ ওয়েস্ট বেঙ্গল ডক্টর সিভি আনন্দ বোসের বক্তব্য।
His Excellency Dr. C.V. Ananda Bose, the Chancellor of the University and Honorable Governor of West Bengal, respected Professor Bimal Roy, eminent members of the University Court and Executive Council, my distinguished deans of faculties, my esteemed Pro-Vice Chancellor and Registrar, my distinguished colleagues, eminent alumni, proud parents and relatives of the graduating students, friends from the media, and of course, my very dear students. We are holding the annual convocation after a gap of 2 years due to the COVID pandemic. On behalf of the university, I cordially and sincerely welcome you to the university's 65th annual convocation on a day which coincides with the institution's Foundation Day. I am indeed happy to welcome Professor Shobik Bhattacharya, our distinguished alumnus and former Vice Chancellor of this university. I express the university's sincere gratitude to the Honorable Chancellor, Sir, for kindly agreeing to preside over today's ceremony. Honorable Chancellor, Sir, this is your first presence at the university, which has been playing a pioneering role in enriching the country's teaching-learning process. We do look forward to receiving your mentorship to ensure the university's successful quest for excellence. The university is also extremely fortunate to welcome the country's foremost statistician, Professor Bimal Roy, the former Director of Indian Statistical Institute, Kolkata. He has kindly consented to deliver the convocation address and we eagerly await his address, which will certainly be inspiring and thought-provoking. At this year's convocation, 2823 undergraduate degrees, 1889 postgraduate degrees, 209 MPhil degrees, and 467 PhD degrees will be awarded. Medals and special prizes will also be presented. The university warmly congratulates the recipients for their well-deserved degrees and prizes. I compliment my colleagues for successfully organizing the examination process. It gives me immense pleasure, His Excellency, to report that during the period under review, the university's 37 departments, 21 schools of interdisciplinary research, and 41 interdisciplinary research centers demonstrated the intellectual excellence despite the constraints of infrastructure. The academic brilliance of the university is amply testified to by both national and international recognitions. National Institutional Ranking Framework of the Government of India accorded Jadavpur University the 4th rank among all universities of the country and the first among the state universities. The 2020 QS World Ranking placed Jadavpur University in the 4th position among the nation's state universities. In 2022 Stanford list of top 2% global scientists, Jadavpur University has 42 scientists, the highest from any Indian university, central or state. University's high energy physics group is collaborating with CERN. The Global Change Program at Jadavpur University has been providing research inputs to the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. Honorable Chancellor, Sir, you will be happy to know that Jadavpur University was one of the 10 universities to be recommended for the grant of the status of Institute of Eminence by the Government of India. But it remains a matter of deep regret that the recommendation is yet to be transformed into a reality. Honorable Chancellor, Sir, on behalf of the university, could I make an earnest appeal to you to use your good office to enable the university to receive the academic status that it richly deserves. Your Excellency, Sir, I have captured how our university has struck a fine balance between teaching and research, how my colleagues have filed 15 patents in 21-22, and how the University's Innovation Council and Industry Institute Partnership Cell are effectively developing university-industry linkage. Incidentally, during the current year, the IIPC has generated a revenue of rupees 13.5 crores. In 2021-22, Jadavpur University Press Publications completed a decade of its existence at a time when university presses in India are sadly becoming a dying breed. Our press has become increasingly visible both nationally and internationally. 3 colleagues of mine received this year's Shiksha Ratna Awards from the Government of West Bengal. Your Excellency, sir, I have also outlined before you individual faculty attainments. I am happy to report the university's continuing participation in the internationalization of Indian higher education. 32 MOUs between Jadavpur University and international institutions are currently active. The university has now joined the Study in India program launched by the Government of India to attract international students in the campus. Despite financial constraints, the university has been able to develop a Center for Digital Library and Documentation and Digital Library beyond campus facility. I am happy to report, Your Excellency, sir, that the UGC has identified Jadavpur University's Human Resource Development Center as a high performer, according it the first rank among Bengal's 4 such centers. Our students have excelled in both academic and co-curricular activities, their presence being felt in all leading national and international education institutions. Despite the corona crisis, the job placements of our students have been commendable. Jadavpur University has constantly upheld the cause of inclusive education. In 2022, the university granted full free studentships to 1059 students and half-free studentships to 331 students. The Scheduled Caste, Scheduled Tribe Cell functions as a watchdog to ensure the rights and entitlements of members of the university community coming from such social groups. A Braille library is in place, a Center for Disability Studies has become operational, an internal transport arrangement has been initiated for students with special needs. The university remains alive to its social and national obligations. This is evident from enthusiastic student participation in the National Social Service programs. It received West Bengal State NSS Award and was selected for District Green Champion Awards 21-22. The University Community Radio played a fruitful societal role during the COVID crisis. It now works closely with UNICEF. It has recently received an award from the West Bengal Child Rights Commission. Jadavpur University is fortunate to have an active alumni linkage spreading across the continents. The Jadavpur Alumni Association granted student scholarships worth rupees 42 lakhs in the last 2 academic years. In times of university's financial need, the alumni have been consistently supportive. During the pandemics, they generously helped the university to address the digital divide among our students. I am also happy to report the extremely enthusiastic response from the alumni and teachers to my recent appeal for financial help to strengthen the university's developmental activities. Within a few months, the university has received a sum of rupees 95.98 lakhs, while another rupees 10 lakhs have been assured. I particularly express the university's gratitude to the Global Jadavpur University Alumni Association for taking the initiative for mobilizing the financial support for the university. Participatory management remains the cornerstone of the university administration, team spirit remaining the driving force. Your Excellency, sir, the university remains beholden to the state government for providing its consistent financial support, overcoming all constraints. I sincerely thank the state government for a recent additional grant of rupees 6 crores. At the same time, Your Excellency, sir, let me record the distress that Jadavpur University shares with the country's other state universities about the decline of funding from the UGC and other federal bodies. Our university's receipts in the financial year 21-22 indicate how the contributions from the UGC and other central bodies dwindled to 2.5%, while that from the state government rose to 94.20%. In the days of neoliberalism, it has perhaps become imperative for universities all around the world to rely on resource mobilization from non-state alternative sources. And perhaps Jadavpur may not be able to insulate itself from this process. Your Excellency, sir, India's higher education is in a transformative mode. But we need to ensure that this transmutation neither violates the country's federal spirit nor undermines our socio-cultural pluralism. At the same time, we are required to address such challenges as how can we combine massification and quality in higher education? How do we address spatial, gender, and social disparities in higher education? How do we guarantee that technology will not replace teachers but be transformative in the hands of the teachers? How do we break the digital divide to facilitate equitable access to education technology? How can we strike a balance between autonomy and accountability of higher education institutions? Honorable Chancellor, sir, we are now faced with a shift from informative to transformative curriculum that relies on outcome-based learning, flexible course tenure with multiple entry-exit choices, and the impact of education technology. Technology revolution is empowering the learners to strategize their own learning process in tune with their interests and needs. The practice of a student sitting on a bench or desk to receive knowledge through a teacher and blackboard, while her or his thoughts hovers in other directions, is poised to become a thing of the past, and we need a new pedagogy to meet this reality. Your Excellency, sir, colonialism and subsequent globalization had stultified the indigenous knowledge system of a country like India. We certainly now need to revisit the indigenous knowledge system, but without carrying over a paradigm of modernity informed by Westernism or becoming a prisoner of archaism, which would glorify everything in the past. I am here reminded of a pertinent remark of Swami Vivekananda, I quote, "Know your past, out of the past is build the future," unquote. It is in this context we need a pedagogy which generates critical thinking, cooperation, adaptability, enterprise, and inventiveness, so that our students become creative and critical citizens who alone can ensure a dynamic democratic society. Martha Nussbaum, in her celebrated works Cultivating Humanity, thus identifies three capacities for democracy, and universities are the best sites to generate such capacities. At this juncture, we need also to recall Gandhiji's advice that education should not promote, I quote, "wealth without work, pleasure without character, commerce without morality, science without humanity, worship without sacrifice, and politics without principles," unquote. I am confident that Jadavpur University, whose origins go back to the process of developing a national as a counterpart to colonial education, is best equipped to address this new pedagogic challenge. Rabindranath Tagore, while speaking on 14th August 1906 at the inaugural function of the Bengal National College, the precursor of Jadavpur University, foresaw it as a repository of the wisdom that Bengal had produced, remarking, "এই জাতীয় বিদ্যালয় আমাদের বিধিদত্ত শক্তি সঞ্চয়ের একটি উপায় স্বরূপে আবির্ভূত হইয়াছে। দেশের মহত্ব এইখানে স্বভাবতই আকৃষ্ট হইয়া বাঙালি জাতির চিরদিনের সম্বলের মতো এই ভাণ্ডারে রক্ষিত ও বর্ধিত হইতে থাকিবে," unquote. Jadavpur University, Your Excellency, sir, despite many constraints, has been able to keep alive this wish of Gurudev, drawing sustenance from the thoughts of inspiring thinkers such as Swami Vivekananda, who realized that a nation advanced in proportion to how education and intelligence spread among the masses. Barton Russell, who viewed education, I quote, "not as filling a vessel with water, but rather as assisting a flower to grow in its own way," unquote. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, who strongly felt, I quote, "that true teachers are those who help us to think for ourselves," unquote. Sri Aurobindo Ghosh, who said, I quote, "courage and love are the only indispensable virtues. Even if all the others are eclipsed or fall asleep, these two will save the soul alive," unquote. And Amartya Sen, one-time faculty of this university, who envisages, I quote, "an education that makes us the human beings as we are," unquote. My dear students, graduation is not the end, but the beginning of a new life as you enter a different and perhaps a difficult world. But I am confident, fortified with the knowledge and intellectual acumen you have gained from your alma mater, you would be able to meet all the challenges as well as grasp all opportunities in your life. I hope you will follow a moral path that will steer you to enjoy honorable and fulfilling lives. I urge you to preserve the bond with your university and fulfill your commitments to the nation, society, and world. Recalling the concluding words of Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore's Convocation address to the Calcutta University on 17th February 1937, and I quote, "Shake me out of this cringing in the dust, out of the fetters that shackle our mind, shatter this age-long shame of ours, and raise our head into the boundless sky, into the generous light, into the air of freedom," unquote. I wish my dear graduating students all the best. Your Excellency, sir, colleagues and students, I cannot but end with a melancholy note as I recall the sudden and untimely death of our Pro-Vice Chancellor, Professor Samantok Das, who had been a source of strength and inspiration for his students and colleagues. To keep alive his memory, the university will establish a center in his name. We meet Samantok in today's function. Thanking you all and wishing a very happy and peaceful 2023. Thank you.